All right, what's happening, everybody? I'm Bret Mix here for Macho Wrestling 101. This is the Monday Night Wars. This is the WWF side, February the 5th, 1996, week 21. This Raw happened from the Stockton Civic Auditorium in Stockton, California. That's where it was taped. It's the 146th episode of Monday Night Raw. Ratings were 2.7 for this edition of Raw. Nitro won and scored a 2.9, beating them this week by 200,000 viewers. So after this week's loss, the scoreboard now, in totality, through 21 weeks for the WWF, is 9 wins, 10 losses, 2 draws. Nitro has 1 more win now through 21 weeks. So the Raw that drew 2.7 to Nitro's 2.9 is brought to you by Jerry Lawler and Vince McMahon, and they open it up with HBK and Diesel versus Davey Boy Smith and Yokozuna with Jim Cornette. The match advertised last week. They're stacking the Raw cards now as Nitro is legit competition. Yokozuna and Bulldog are already in the ring with no theme on the show. They just advertised the card on the mic, and then Sean's theme hits. Diesel comes out with them. So in the end, two dudes with attitude or the Click were in the ring with Yokozuna and the Bulldog with no entrance themes. Michaels begins with the Bulldog while Diesel and Yokozuna are on the outside, and that's what the bulk of this match was. It was Sean and the Bulldog in the ring with Diesel and Yokozuna getting hot tags here and there. Yokozuna would dominate more than the Diesel. Diesel was probably the one guy that just stood on the apron most of the match. Shawn Michaels was selling or dominating in each of the sequences, believing to it. Yokozuna and Diesel go at it, and the Samoan drop by Yokozuna. He missed an elbow drop on Diesel. Yoko with an arm wringer, HBK back in, and Bulldog pulled the top rope down, so HBK went flying to the outside. Michaels down on the mat after Bulldog tossed him back in, and he double teams with the Yokozuna. Bulldog back in, stomping on Shawn Michaels, and then hit a standing vertical suplex, displaying his power, elevating him in the air for half a dozen seconds. Bulldog took HBK double team with Yokozuna choking about in the corner. A snapmare by Yokozuna, then a trapezius hold from Yoko to HBK. HBK wanted the hot tag to Diesel, but Yoko slammed him to the canvas, then missed on the leg drop, so Diesel gets the hot tag and delivers offense from the two dudes with attitude to Yoko and the Bulldog. Diesel with fury and power back in the ring after a dramatic hot tag by Michaels, and once in dominates Yokozuna with several rights, then knocked Bulldog down with his boot, then Yokozuna with his body weight on the middle rope, then a big boot by HBK tagged in with a crossbody off the top. Davey Boy went to hit HBK and he hit Yoko instead. Michaels super kicked Yokozuna to the outside. Owen Hart runs to the ring, try and grab Yokozuna to get him back in the ring so they don't get counted out, but that's exactly what happens at 11:51. Yokozuna and the Bulldog get counted out. Shawn Michaels and Diesel win by countout. This was fair. There was some good action with the typical WWF formula for the typical WWF tag team match. I gave it 2.5 stars. Jim Cornette is publicly humiliating Yokozuna after the match, and Yokozuna looks like he wants to explode, and he beats down Jim Cornette after. Owen and Bulldog then double team Yokozuna, and then Yokozuna goes, "Rrr!" and Bulldog and Owen run to the back after Yokozuna makes that big intimidating face. This is Yokozuna's babyface turn. A vignette of Mankind is shown, saying maybe he can one day have a nice day. That's the first time we hear that saying from him, because this is just the second time he's been on a Raw in a vignette. They don't show his face though; they just show, his ear and just a vision of just a person there, like a silhouette. The 1-2-3 Kid with Ted DiBiase took on Hakushi. So again, no jobbers are in these matches because the WWF really wants to compete with Nitro. Nitro's giving up matches like Flair versus Hogan and to open the show, Savage versus the Giant, the Luger and Sting versus the Road Warriors, all in one Nitro. So, and these are hour episodes, right? Nitro was still 1 hour at the time. Raw was still an hour at the time. So Raw was like, we don't even have time for jobber matches. We got to put established star versus established star. So Hakushi versus the 1-2-3 Kid, both of them are established. They're not exactly stars, but they're not jobbers. So that's what the WWF's doing here. And this was a great match. Hakushi with a side headlock takeover. Another head scissors come out by the Kid as they counter each other's chain wrestling moves to begin with the head scissors. They both kip up. A bunch of flips in this one, a bunch of counters, nice reversals, great counter wrestling. high-flying aerial offense by both guys. Somersault plancha by the 1-2-3 Kid that Vince calls a devastating maneuver. And DiBiase kicks at Hakushi behind the ref. The 1-2-3 Kid hits him with high kicks, Irish whip and an enziguri, a high suplex by Hakushi, a drop kick in the midair to counter a cross body by Hakushi to the 1-2-3 Kid. Hakushi does a backflip to get to a spinning heel kick. Hakushi then does a cartwheel towards the Kid. High flying, two different spots happen as the 1-2-3 Kid goes down by Hakushi. Hakushi then flips to the top rope, hits a senton, near fall, a crossbody off the inside of the ring, another near fall. He landed a spinning heel kick to the 1-2-3 Kid. He rolled up the Kid, then the Kid rolled up Hakushi. Both went through a high kick and a reverse Irish whip. A Hurricane Rana by Hakushi, almost a 3. Great match. Hakushi goes up top, and the Kid kicks him, so he lands on his groin, and the Kid comes up with a double underhook suplex off the top rope at 8:14. The 1-2-3 Kid gets the victory. I rated it 3 stars and a quarter. Just a great match by the 1-2-3 Kid and Hakushi in this one. So almost, I have a list of 3.5 stars. I have got about 1,000. I'm a geek this way. I've got about 1,000 matches on it, and it's 3.5 stars to 5 stars. This one almost made the list because I rated it 3 stars and a quarter, just 3.25 stars. I have 3.5 stars and above, and I've got them in chronological order. So, yeah, I'm a geek that way. And maybe in other ways, too. Anyway, featured comments from Gorilla Monsoon on choosing Roddy Piper as his temporary replacement, as well as the thought of having Vader reinstated. He apologizes with the way he responded to Vader because he was chopping him in the corner, and then he thanks the fans who sent get well wishes. Bret Hart took on The Undertaker in the main event for the WWF title in a rematch from the Royal Rumble just a couple weeks before it. Undertaker no longer has his Phantom of the Opera mask on anymore. Diesel got involved the last time and gave him the middle finger. This time Bret looks up to away with the lock with the Undertaker. Undertaker hits a headbutt and a high glove to Bret. Bret with a boot, a hard right, and then headbutt back. The Undertaker then slams Bret into the corner and chokes him with his boot. The Undertaker choking Bret in the middle rope. The Undertaker grabs Bret in the corner and does that methodical chokehold where he just grabs his neck. And then an uppercut afterwards, then a face claw by The Undertaker, but then Diesel comes down to the ring. Diesel then throws on a headset and gets on commentary. He doesn't say much, but he says Bret can take a beating. Bret and The Undertaker go at it in the corner. Bret tries to do a figure 4 around the ring post, but Taker sends him into the barricade. The Undertaker comes to the ring and chokes him out. Diesel just stared. The Undertaker torques the arm and the top rope, and this time hits old school. Last time, Bret hit an arm drag takedown off of the top rope. Bret had a roll up, but the official got on the old school move. The official got knocked down, so Bret rolling up Undertaker didn't get a 2 count because the ref was down. So Diesel stood up, and the Undertaker hit a hard right on Bret. Diesel then attacks Bret from behind. There's no official. Undertaker then kicks at Diesel and gives him hard shots from behind him. Diesel with a chair lays out the Undertaker with it. In the end, this was ruled a no contest after all the shenanigans. I give the actual match between Bret and The Undertaker 2.5 stars. Diesel with a jackknife to The Undertaker. He tried to sit up, but he was down. Diesel then goes for another jackknife. As Diesel and Bret left, they went and brawled by the stage. The match was officially declared a draw. Bret and Diesel just kept brawling by the stage as both Bret and Taker were both mad at Diesel at the time. Taker had a vendetta against Diesel and they'd meet at WrestleMania, whereas Bret had a vendetta against Diesel and they'd meet at In Your House Rage in the Cage. This event featured a closing segment in which print ad was shown, which was set to run in several major newspapers, claiming Ted Turner was wasting millions of stockholders' dollars in his personal vendetta against the WWF to try and put them out of business. I rated this Raw in episode 7 out of 10 because it had a great 1-2-3 Kid Hakushi match. It had the Undertaker and Bret rematch from the Rumble. It had a very good opening tag with the Bulldog and Diesel against Michaels and Yokozuna. It had Yokozuna's face turn, a vignette of Mankind, the Billionaire Ted vignettes. So overall, a solid wrestling show. So a good Raw despite the 0.2 rating loss to Nitro. So again, the TV ratings-wise, the WWF loses for a second straight week, this time by 200K, a count of 2.9 to 2.7 for Nitro. So the scoreboard after 21 weeks is 9 wins, 10 losses, 2 draws. That's this week's 21st week for Monday Night Raw. We'll see you for the 22nd. I'm Bret Mix, and I'm out.